Hari Om to all the Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. So we are happy to be back again with another session of Upadesa Saram by Ramana Maharshi. So we shall start with the prayer. Anyone can, volunteer to chant this. Who wants to chant? Or I'll chant once and then someone else can follow.
Yeah.
Antaryascha bahirvidhutatimiram Jyotirmayam shashvatam sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanamunmulayan pashyan vishvamapidam ullasatiyo vishvasya pare paraha tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Gurave Shokasya Hantre Namaha. Yes.
Antaryascha bahirvidhutatimiram jyotirmayam shashvatam sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanam unmulyan pashyan vishvam api idam ulasitiyo vishvasya pariparaha tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Guruve Shokasya Hantare Namaha.
Good, Rajni. Good. So
you can sing. Your voice is beautiful. Thank you.
No, it's not just the voice. The Sanskrit words have to be pronounced in a certain way, but with practice, you will get it.
Thank you.
So what is the meaning of this shloka? Antaryascha bahir vidhuta timiram. Timiram means what? Andhakar. Okay. So antar and bahi, in inner and outer andhakara, what he will do? Jyotirmayam. He will make it, he will light up our inside and outside understanding of the world. Shashvatam, eternal light. Sthanam prapya virajate vinamatam ajnanam unmulayan. So sthanam prapya virajate. What's the meaning of that? Look, anyone can explain this. I don't have to do this myself. Please, someone take up the explanation. Anyone? What about Anupama? You want to try? Indra? What is this?
That is sitting on the self.
Sthanam prapya. Prapya means having obtained. Sthanam.
Obtain that self or obtain that this thing.
Yes.
Ajnanam udmulayan. Then that is the ajnana would go. Although we are sitting on that, but we are covered with ajnanam. But sitting in the self and realizing that this ajnana would go.
Virajate means he revels in himself. He's reveling in his own self. And so he is reveling in his own self. So he is able to remove the ajnana of others also. Okay. Pashyan vishvamapi idam ullasati yo.
He is looking into the world as it is.
Ullasati.
Vishwasya pare paraha. He is very much in the world, but he is not attached to the world. He is just simply observing.
Ullasati, he is enjoying.
Yeah.
Ullasa, no. Ullasati yo. He is enjoying also, like how we go to a movie and enjoy all the happenings. Even the most tragic scenes, we are involved and we are experiencing it, enjoying it. Na? Asa, he is ullasati. He is... see, when we see a tragic movie, we have an aesthetic appreciation of all that, no? Like that. So, Ramana is ullasati in the Vishwam. Then, Tasmai Shri Ramanaya Loka Gurave
Shokasya Hantre Namaha. Such a guru who is Hantre, who is eliminating the shoka such a Loka Guru, Sri Ramana, I am bowing.
I bow to that Ramana. Yes. So beautiful, no? That is in a sense what is Ramana. Loka Guru Ramana. All right. And now next what do? We go with the shlokas. Each of us can chant one shloka and then come to the one which we are yet to discuss. Number 1. Kartruragnaya. Anyone? Shloka number 1. Kartruragnaya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam. Anyone? Without the tune also one can just chant the shloka.
Karturagyaya prapyate phalam karma kim param karma tajjadam.
Meaning also.
By the law, will of the creator, the fruits of the actions are realized. How is action then superior? It is not, it is inert.
Yes.
Jada.
Correct. Next shloka. Krutimaho dadhau patana karanam phalamashashvatam gati nirodhakam. Yes.
Kriti mahodado patanakaranam phalam shashvatam gati nirodhakam.
Phalam ashashvatam. Shashvatam means eternal. Phalam is not shashvata. It is ashashvata. Is what it is being said. You have to break up the words. Okay.
Phalam, so it will be phalam shashvatam.
Ashashvatam. When you are combining the words, it becomes phalam ashashvatam. So, but when you have to break it up, phalam ashashvatam.
Phalam ashashvatam gati nirodhakam.
Yes.
The results of actions are impermanent and they pass away. Yet, their seeds, they form an ocean of karma, which becomes a barrier in the progress of a seeker.
Is this easily understood, or is there any questions on this? How can phalam be?
The seeds they form, that becomes my pattern, and that pattern continues. All the result of a particular karma is that is taken care of. I get the fall of that results, but my imprints of that action,
Correct.
the imprints, the way I that is my nature, my personality develops like that. So that personality will continue and it will again be a cause of another action.
Correct.
So till the time I do away with my personality, I totally disintegrate that. I will be prone to the next karma. I'll be prone to the next whatever I do.
Give a simple example to illustrate the impermanence of the phala. Simple example. Anyone? Not able to enter. Okay. Yeah, carry on.
Okay. If somebody comes to my house and I do not like that person or whatever it is, and I am angry or whatever it is, so I have let out my anger, but then my mind is very unsettled. So the mind is unsettled and I get the result of my action immediately, in the sense I would have thought, oh, I have acted, but then what is the repercussion of that? I have got an unsettled mind.
All right. Any other example? More concrete. Everyday example. Jayashree, you're here. Thank you. Okay. So just to give Prabhuji's favorite example, coffee. You drink the coffee, it's an action. The result is what? Happiness. You are satisfied. But is it eternal?
No.
10 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, it's gone. But the seed, the vasana is very much there deep inside me. And these vasanas, small little vasanas, they form an ocean of karma. And it becomes a barrier. Okay. Third one. Ishwararpitam nechaya krutam Chittashodhakam Muktisadhakam. Yes, somebody wants to chant. Jayashri likes this shloka. Can you chant or are you on mute?
Ishwararpitam nechaya kritam chittashodhakam muktisadhakam.
Meaning.
Okay. Work which is performed as an offering to the Almighty and done without any expectation of the fruits thereof helps in purification of the mind and thereby leads one to liberation or realization.
Correct. Any comments on this? Anyone? We have discussed at length in the previous class, but still.
Yeah, I can quote. I was listening to your Saturday
Bhagavad Gita
class, and in that you have told us how to let go. How to let go is, do the action completely immersed in it, do it well, and in the end, leave the fruits of the action to the God by saying Om Tat Sat.
Lovely.
And, that is how we can Ishwararpitam, we can do it. The action was done by me as an instrument through him. That's how we can Ishwararpita. At that point, tumba chanag bantu, nang tumba artha aitu. I used to always ask you, how do we let go? How do we let go? Through Ishwararpita.
Correct.
All the selfless action is surrendering to the God.
Very nice. Good.
Thank you.
Point. And Padmaja also had very lovely points on surrender. Padmaja, can you pull it out? Can you share it with us?
Yeah.
Huh?
I will do that. Give me one moment.
Yeah, sure. Adat Munche, while Padmaja is pulling out that explanation, why should we purify the mind in the first place? Anyone? Why is this purification? See, we are all in this Jnana Marga. We all know. Anyone will ask you to explain about what is your true nature, we will immediately say Satchidananda. I am Satchidananda. I have understood intellectually. Why more sadhana? Why is it required, I say?
Because the reflection happens in the mind. So the purer the mind, the clearer is that you can see it very clearly. Then you can see the self. See the self in the sense you can see if the mirror is clean, I can see my picture very clearly. But if there are aberrations in the mirror itself, it is broken someplace, it is dirty someplace, I cannot see my own image clearly. Similarly is the case with the mind. The clearer the mind, the better I can see myself. I can see the self.
Okay. So if I can see myself better, what will happen? If I cannot see myself better, but I merely understand that I am the self, what will be the quality of my life?
It is only intellectually which I have seen it. I'm intellectually absorbing it, but I am not walking the talk. In the sense, I will not be able to realize in my life. It is more
manifest that reality. I will not be able to manifest it in my life, isn't it? If I'm not able to manifest, what will happen? All the kicks and blows of life, I will have to bear them. Yes. So Padmaja will tell us how to that surrender. That's the problem, no? Ishwara Arpita, how to do. Now she will share some
Surrender
points.
or Sharanagati.
Sharanagati.
Surrender is about not giving up. It is about giving in to the natural flow of life. It is about aligning with life's natural flow instead of forcing outcomes. I trust what is meant for me will come. Having that trust, it is also important we do what is required to do. Our roles and responsibilities we have to perform with keeping all this dharma, artha, kama, moksha, everything, we will do it.
Correct.
However, I will not force like this only should happen. I am doing this should happen. I release the need to control every detail. Surrender is a sign of strength and it is not weakness. It means you do your best and let go what you can't control. Because in life, we will not be able to control everything in our this one.
Correct.
So Surrender is ultimate spiritual power that we have. It is the key. It is a key to freedom, peace, and alignment with your higher self. So what are the practical steps to surrender? Number 1, cultivate awareness. One should have this awareness all the moment, every moment. Trust the timings. Trust that everything unfolds at the right time. Use affirmations. Affirmations like, I trust the process of life. I let go and I flow with ease. 4, meditate. Meditate helps us to connect with the present moment and release the mental clutter that is we generally accumulate, with all our thoughts and emotions.
Right.
And the last one, surrender small things first. We don't have to do bigger things surrendering, at least the smaller things. Example, letting go of irritation in traffic, or someone, husband says something or wife says something, we get just upset on this. So surrendering small things first is important. Then you can work on the bigger things.
Very beautiful.
That's all about surrender.
That's all. That's a whole lot. Very lovely points, practical tips of what to do, Little small, start small. That is the message, which is very nice. I liked it a lot. No? Any comments on that? Anupama? Acha laga?
बहुत अच्छा लगा.
ठीक है. Then we have the 4th verse which we are supposed to, again Padmaja is going to present that. kāyavāṅmanaḥ kāryamuttamam pūjanaṁ japaścintanaṁ kramāt. Yes, Padmaja. You can chant it without the tune also.
kāyavāṅmanaḥ kāryamuttamam pūjanaṁ japa chanting kramāt.
Very nice. Yes.
So the translation goes like this. This is certain worship, praise, and meditation. Being work of body, speech, and mind are steps for orderly ascent. So, to attain self-realization, we have to do prayas for shreyas. Prayas for shreyas must be done, must be made to attain self-realization. What is prayas? Prayas means efforts. Efforts. Shreyas means inner bliss. So we have to make efforts to get that inner bliss, which is required to attain self-realization. Now, in this verse 4, Ramana Maharshi is talking about the various kinds of efforts that can be made to attain this shreyas, which is the most superior one. So how do we go with this? So he has given some steps through which we can attain this shreyas. So the first one is puja. He says pūjanaṁ japaścintanaṁ. That is the kramāt is the order in which it goes. So first is puja. Puja is nothing that we do it, with ritualistic worships that we do to God, some kind of thing, so which is offered to deity. That is puja. Second is japa. Japa is the chanting of mantras, whatever we do. And the chintanam is the silent meditation on the I am, the formless sense of being. Now, these are nothing but the acts or the karmas which lead to liberation. Of puja, japa, chintanam, chintanam forms the highest form. However, the most important point in doing this puja, japa, chintanam, we need to understand that all these acts or the karma that we are doing, it has to be done with nishkamya bhava. That means without a thought for the fruit of one's action.
Right.
What will I get anta irbardo? That's all we have to understand, that I am doing it and offering it to the deity. With that bhava, we should do that. All this. Now, looking at this world, we have to look at the world as God and then serve them. World has got 5 elements, the sun, moon, and all the beings.
Wait, Padmaja, that's the next verse, right?
Okay, I don't know. Okay, so in this verse, I have a little more points to add. So since puja, japa are the, so now if you can think that since chintanam is the highest form of the liberation, highest form in getting this, why can't I do just the chintanam? Why do I have to do puja and japa?
Correct.
The puja and japa are the stepping stones to liberation. If I have to reach some highest point, if I have to go to the 100th step, I have to go to first, second, third, and then cross, and then go on to the 100th step.
Correct.
What does this puja and japa do? They bring about the deepening of one's practices. They are indispensable and go a long way in molding the mental quality of the sadhaka or the seeker. So once the seekers are advanced in their spiritual journey, they automatically have this chintanam all the time. Every moment of the time, they are into the chintanam mode. They deeply hold on to the sense of I am. Now, once he or she reaches at that stage, he or she cannot separate the self from anything else. Everything is mine. They are the one with that. The self captivates their attention all the time, no matter what they are engaged in or what activities they are doing. That's it.
Very nice, Padmaja. Let us do some chintanam on this.
Yes.
Any questions, people, on what Padmaja has shared? So, this there is puja, there is japa, there is dhyana. And in that krama only, one should progress, is what Bhagavan has said. So, what is the difference you see between these three steps? In puja, what all is involved? What are the faculties which are involved in an external puja?
Name and form of the God.
Amele?
And the five senses, seeing, smell, touch.
Perfectly. Yes. Everything is involved. The whole personality, the outer gross personality is involved in the puja. Imagine the preparation. Now, Ganesha Habba is coming antandre. Imagine the preparation you have to go through for that at least a week in advance. What all you will make it, things you get ready for that puja. People who do it, in a very ritualistic manner, how much we take trouble. So while we are doing all that, our whole concentration is on God. Isn't it? That is why for the normal beings, for all of us who are rooted in the body-mind complex, the puja is the grossest form which will help us focus all our senses towards God. Make sense? That is why puja is recommended for.
Sabhi idhar hi chodo beta. Idhar hi aisa chodo. Pani niklega.
That puja is happening. What, you want to add something, Rajani, for that? Anyone can add, please. I mean, we are just discussing. Chintanam is happening. So in puja, the body and mind are involved. In japa, what happens?
Mind is involved.
It's subtler. It is subtler than the puja part.
Puja. Correct.
Yeah. And what is the advantage of japa over puja? Because Bhagavan clearly has said it is the next level. It's better. That krama is lowest is puja, or let us not say lowest, most basic fundamental is puja. Then you go to japa. In japa, what is involved? Speech and mind. Because in japa also varieties of japa will come later. Only the mind and the little speech is involved in japa. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. So it's a little more subtle. What is the advantage of this japa over puja? There are some advantages. You don't have to do so much physical.
One-pointed concentration.
You can do it anywhere.
Anupama said?
One-pointedness.
Is that easy, madam? So, yeah, that is very, very, admirable goal. But we are thinking of the advantages of japa is, in fact, in puja, that concentration is easier. As long as you are doing something, all your senses are involved. The dhoop is there. It will engage your, sense of smell. The prasad is there, which will engage your sense of taste. And the eye is the beautiful form of the Lord. All these things are happening in external puja. Whereas in japa, the mind, oh boy, goes here, there, everywhere it will go. The advantage, like Jaishi said, is yes, it can be done anywhere, at any point of time. That is the advantage of japa. Even while cooking or whatever you are doing, that can go in your background, japa. That's the advantage. So that's the next higher level. Then of course, like Padmaja said, dhyana is the highest level, where only the mind is involved. So these three steps are compared to only the fellow who has done the puja, etc. and all can progress to the highest. Without that, it's a bit difficult. So the famous example quoted by all masters is when the child is little, a tricycle is given. The balance has to be got. The child has to start with a tricycle, 3 wheels, steady. Then a little more maturity, a bicycle, 2 wheels. Then when you're adept with bicycling also, in circus and all, they have a monocycle, only just 1 wheel. They'll do all sorts of tricks, but yet they'll remain, that balance is maintained. So that is the example given. These are some of the points. Okay, but why should I do puja? The importance of puja. Why should I do puja? What is the advantage? So what we are all trying to achieve is focusing on God. That is the advantage. God or the higher or a universal or whatever. Ishvara. Focusing on Ishvara. See, otherwise in our daily life, what we are doing is we are having transactions with the world. Jiva to jiva. Spend some time with jiva to Ishvara. That is the importance of puja. That is why in Sanatana Dharma, it's all embedded. See, that's what Vivekananda has said, no? This Hindu is a very strange creature. He has got a shloka for every action. From the beginning of the morning when you wake up, till the time we go to bed, we have one shloka embedded in our life. It used to be. We have to bring it back. For example, what do we do? What do we say first thing in the morning when we wake up? If we have had the background in our lives, what do we do with that?
Karagre.
Karagre vasate Lakshmi. We remember God. We look at our palms and we remember the Trinity, Devis who are giving us all the power. And then when we are having a bath, we have a chant for that also. Kya hai? What is the chant?
Gange cha Yamuna Devi.
Gange
Yamune chaiva Godavari Saraswati Narmade Sindhu Kaveri Jalesmin Sannidhim Kuru. Correct. So we remember all the holy rivers and we take a bath. Isn't that beautiful? And then when the mother is serving the food, or when before we take the food, we have several chants. The popular ones, can someone recall? We chant it. Purne Shankara Pranavallabe Gnana Vairagya Siddhyartham Bhiksha Dehi Cha Parvati.
The shloka is so beautiful.
It goes like that. It goes like that.
Look at that. Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham. That bhiksha what we are having, let the food, let it convert into jnana and vairagya within me. Look at the beautiful meaning. It is not just let me finish my food, let my taste enjoy the taste. Not that. See, the other day in the Bhagavad Gita class also we discussed how there's a gross element of the food, there's a subtle element and subtler element. The gross element is digested and it is excreted. The subtle element, it goes into the bone and marrow and the blood and all that, and the body is nourished. The subtlest element, what happens to the subtlest element? Anybody who attended the class?
Yeah. It will go into our DNA part.
It will go into shaping our gunas.
Gunas.
Isn't it? Sattvic, Rajasic, Tamasic gunas are being shaped by the food that we eat. Therefore, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham, with that activity, with that bhavana, when we consume food, that is what we nourished it within us. So that is the importance of this ritualistic puja and the chants that we have, all these beautiful chants that we have. And like Anupama said, Brahmarpanam, Brahma Havihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanahutam, everything is Brahman. The food is Brahman, the plate is Brahman, the ladle is Brahman. The Brahman is the one who is consuming, Brahman is the one who is digesting. Everything is Brahman. Look at the intensity, look at the, the weightage of what we are chanting with awareness if we do. So that is the importance of this puja, shloka, everything. Okay, good. And then people might ask, why should I love God? Why should I have a relationship with God at all? Why should I do it? Isn't jnana superior? We have heard, no? Jnana is higher. In the Gita also, Bhagavan says, the jnani is most near to me. In one chapter he says, in another he says bhakta is near. But for the sake of, understanding, jnana is the most superior because it's more subtle. In bhakta, a lot of emotions are involved. In jnana, peace. So why should I'm a jnani. I like that path of jnana. Why should I develop love for God? Anta question kelbodu, legitimate question. So what will we say to that? What can we say?
It's again a cleansing process also, no?
Correct. Just, you can have all the jnana you want, but if there is no chitta shuddhi, like we discussed in the first beginning, I cannot manifest that divinity which is me. For that is a very beautiful example. All of us can, it's easy for us to tell others, when a king, when you're expecting a very important person, a VIP or a king, you're welcoming a king into the house, what do we do? We have to do a lot of arrangements. Even if some guests are coming home, we have to do a lot of arrangements. We have to clean up our mess. We have to put away all the unnecessary stuff from the living room. We have to do the sofa. We have to wipe the dust, the whole premises. We have to keep a nice vase of flowers and, put up some fragrance. What all activities we have to do to welcome a guest or a king. And after the guest comes, what happens? Or the king comes, he will just come and sit there. What will he do? Nothing. Jnana is like that. We have to do everything for him. For the guest, for the king, we have to do everything. Whereas bhakti is like the house help. She will do everything for us. She will clean up the mess of the house. That is the importance of bhakti. That is the importance of developing bhakti. Once that bhakti enters the heart, it will clean the mess that is me inside my head. That is the importance of developing love towards God. So the jnana is compared to a king and bhakti is compared to a maid servant in not at all a derogatory manner, in a happy manner. So for chitta shuddhi, bhakti is very important. What else is there to, any questions about puja? We have many questions about puja. Like what? Which god to worship?
Another point that I can also think about jnana and bhakti is,
Yes.
if someone has exclusively jnana, let's say, no bhakti there, they become more egoistic. Like I have this. So
Correct.
egoistic there, whereas the one who has a bhakti, they are more humble. Humility is there.
Haudu. And this bhakti, this jnana, developing jnana is a very intellectual activity. It's not for everyone. Whereas bhakti, anybody on earth can develop bhakti. Just say, God, help me, finish. There you are a bhakta, finished. There's nothing more to be done. It's so beautiful. So a jnani also should climb down the high horse and come down to the or grow up to the level of the bhakta. That is what it is. Bhakti is very, very important. That is why we see all the great jnanis, even Ramana, he was a bhakta of who? He was a bhakta of Shiva, and the mountain
Arunachaleshwara.
Arunachaleshwara was his chosen deity. And Shankara has written hymns on all the deities. Everything he has written. There's a legend saying that when Shankaracharya was just 8 years of age, when he took sannyasa ante. At home only he decided, 8-year-old child, I'll become a sannyasi. And then he went in search of a guru, this Govinda Pada, Bhagavad Pada. And apparently he told his guru, look, I have taken sannyasa. Now you ratify it. That was the level of that little boy. And so Govinda Bhagavad said, okay, okay, nice, nice. And then he gave him sannyasa. And then immediately the little boy wanted to write bhashyas on all the Vedas. Bhashyas on all the Vedas. Then Govinda said, okay, try. Then the little boy started writing Shankara, but somehow it didn't turn out well at all. Then he went to the master and said, look, it's not happening, but I know what I should write. I want to write, but I'm not sure it's not coming all right. So the guru told him, you first write a bhashya on Vishnu Sahasranama. Develop bhakti in your heart. Then only you will be right to write the bhashyas for the other Upanishads in the first place. So that's how the first bhashya that Shankara wrote was of the Vishnu Sahasranama. That is the importance of bhakti. Okay. So if we have a question, which God to worship, does anybody have? Worship your
For
Ishtadeva.
prosperity, it is Lakshmi. For jnana, it is Shiva. For Krishna, it is love, or that.
Vagera. But that should not create a conflict within the bhakta. Because ultimately, Sarvadeva Namaskaraha Keshavam Pratigacchati. It is said, you do prostration to any god, it's finally going to that Brahman only. So that is also there. Okay. And then of course we have our Kula Devata. It has come through our ancestors. Two we can keep. One Ishta Devata and one Kula Devata. If you want to do ritualistic worship. That's a good idea. All right. But as Vedantins, we have to remember not just the name and form, but the adhyatmika aspect of the name and form also. We as sadhakas, we have to remember. We also do a lot of ritualistic puja when it comes, when we do it. When we are doing it, let us remember the adhyatmika aspect of all these gods that we are worshipping. Like for example, Ganesha. We have a lot of explanation of what the Ganesha's ears are like this, and the trunk of Ganesha. They have got a lot of explanations are given by our Prabhuji also for all the symbolism in Hindu mythology. Hindu mythology is full of symbolism. So we have a lot of explanations. We should go through them and we should remember that. Okay, good. Anything else on this verse? And this is the next verse. Verse number 5. Jagata īśadhīyuktasevanam aṣṭamūrtibhṛddevapūjanam. Anyone wants to chant this? Let us.
Jagata īśadhīyuktasevanam aṣṭamūrtibhṛddevapūjanam.
बाकी कल करो. Thank you.
Shipping?
समय हो गया. चलो.
Read the meaning also.
Worshipping any of the 8 forms, thinking they are all forms of God, is good worship, puja of God.
Yes. So if we had a question of which God to worship, here is the answer given by Bhagavan. Okay. Madam Subbalakshmi ji is not there to share her research on this. If anybody else has done, please share. What are the 8 forms of this? Yeah. Yes.
In Shiva Purana, they say the 8 forms of Shiva Purnima-ji. That is, can I go on?
Yes, of course.
Sarva Bhava Rudra Ugra Bhima Pashupati Ishana Mahadeva.
Oh, wow.
So, Sarva is earth, Bhava water, Rudra is fire, Ugra is wind, Bhima is the sound, and Pashupati the soul, each Srishti, each being, and Ishana is sun, and Mahadeva is moon. What Nandi Deva explains Lord Shiva in the 8 forms.
Wow. That's so beautiful, Anupama. Just repeat that those terms again.
Sarva Bhava Rudra Ugra Bhima Pashupati Ishana Mahadeva. He says, this is how I worship the Lord Mahadeva. So
Very
everything is Shiva only to me, he says.
Beautiful. Lovely. That is what it is. 8 forms is, even in the Mandukya, this Virat Purusha has got Saptangaha. He has got 7 limbs, Virat Purusha. So along with Purusha, Virat, seven limbs of Virat, that is the 8 forms of God. So like Anupama just explained, the 5 Panchabhutas are the 5. And then there's the sun and the moon. And there is the Paramatma itself. These are the 8 forms of God. Very good. Very nice. This is the Jagat Isha. īśadhīyuktasevanam. So for which God to worship? You worship any God in your puja room. But the bhavana should be, I am worshipping Jagat ka Ish. This universal form, the cosmic form is what I am worshipping. The attitude of worshipping the Lord through the world, actually Loka Kalyana. What Ramana is telling us is, do Loka Kalyana. If you are serving others, you are serving Ishvara himself. Where else is Ishvara Baba? He is in you, me, and every ant and in every plant. So that seva you do. So how has this been embedded in our Sanatana Dharma? Tell me. This Jagata īśadhīyuktasevanam is embedded in our Sanatana Dharma. How? Tell me, remember? It is very much part of our DNA. Bolo kaisa. Remember.
We worship rivers as a holy mother, sun we worship. So all these things we worship. Fire as Agni for any homa that is important.
Yes. Correct. Correct. That is all ritualistic.
The
As
Pancha Yajna we do.
Exactly. Pancha Yajnas. Yeah, you please explain the Pancha Yajnas, Anupama. How we go. Alexa, stop. Alexa thought I am talking to her and she's doing Pancha Yajnas. Alexa, stop. Anupama, Pancha Yajnas.
Bhuyajna. Bhuyajna for anything, any being in the world, or the Prithvi.
Bhuta Yajna, I think, no? Bhuyajna is yeah.
Bhuta Yajna.
Bhuta means all living beings. No? It's what? Continue. Anyone else also can pitch in? Yes, Bhuta Yajna is one.
Then Deva Yajna, that we do as puja, sloka,
Correct.
anything. Then Manushya Yajna.
Yes.
Any small act of kindness to any human beings, that is Manushya Yajna. Then Rishi Yajna or Brahma Yajna, that is chanting Vedas or mantras. Deva Yajna is worshipping sun, moon,
Correct.
everything, isn't it, Purnima ji?
Yeah,
Then
all the
Brahma Yajna
elements.
or Rishi Yajna is
Jnana Yajna. What we are doing now? Jnana Yajna.
Then is Pitur Yajna, remembering our ancestors and being grateful for what we are today.
And also the elderly people among us who are with us, serving them.
Serving them.
See how all the yajnas are included. This is the part of the Jagata īśadhīyuktasevanam. We are worshipping Jagat Ishvara in all these forms. aṣṭamūrtibhṛddevapūjanam. Okay, good. And there's a lovely anecdote associated with this is where one will say, I will do Jagata īśadhī directly. Why should I do puja? Again, that question might come. But is it easy? Is it easy to see God in everyone directly without seeing the God in the little form of your Krishna or Ganesha? I don't know. Maybe it is easy for one who has done a lot of sadhana in the previous lives, but we can't take that for granted. So there is a very nice anecdote. During pre-independence India, Lokamanya Tilak had visited one of the freedom fighters' house, and they were discussing. And the man of the house was telling Tilak, my little boy here, no, he doesn't do any puja, nothing ritual and all. The father was telling this Lokamanya Tilak. So Tilak called the little boy and said, why you don't like God? Why don't you like to, do puja and all? See, remember in the mid-50s, mid-40s or 30s, it was very important, it was very much part of the Hindu household to do all this ritualistic puja without having bath or without doing your, mantra and all that. You could not have even, food and all that. So that little boy said, do you do all that? He asked Tilak. Honestly, Lokamanya Tilak said, no, I don't do all that. Then I'll also not do, he said. Then the Tilak took the boy to the terrace of his house and asked him to look at the scene in front of him. What do you see? The boy said, I see a lot of people going about here, there, everywhere. They're going. Somebody is shopping, somebody is walking, somebody is carrying an umbrella, somebody is doing cycling and all that. So Tilak told the little boy, when you're only able to see people, then you have to do your puja. When you're able to see God walking through all these people there, then you are not eligible. You can drop the puja part of it. Then only you can do jagata īśadhī seva properly. See, it's all the pancha yagnas, I'm sure we do, but somehow maybe not with so much involvement. If we don't have the love towards God, it's difficult to do the pancha yagnas also, isn't it? Don't you feel that? Isn't it easier when I love God and then do the pancha yagnas? Or do it just as a ritual? Which is better? Both should go parallelly, of course. Yes, Anupama, you want to say?
Without compassion, that will not give that satisfaction. So
Correct.
to develop compassion, bhakti is very much needed.
Yes, correct. To develop compassion, bhakti is very much needed. Yes, anybody else wants to say something about this jagata īśadhī puja? Anything else? So the other day I came across these, what are the kind of relationships that you can have with God? Any type of relationship. What is your relationship with God? Each of us. If I want to say, I would say, Lord, God is my master. That is my relationship with God. He's the Father. He's going to protect me. Indra, what is yours?
Like something higher to whom I can tell everything, ask for anything. There is no judgment. I will not be feared of, he might think something bad about me or anything.
Correct.
Nothing like that.
Perfect. Yeah, Anupama?
For each God, there is each kind of relationship.
Correct. That's nice. That goes because we have Nava Rasas. So we should have Nava gods also. Each different relationships. That's nice. Baja, you have anything special? Relationship with God?
Nothing special, Purnima. It's only thing is that I feel it's all everywhere. It is God. It's all in me, and He is something that ultimate power there. It runs, everything runs with His power. Nothing else.
Very nice. Very nice. Murthy ji, have anything to share? Your relationship with God, what is it?
Hello, ma'am.
Hari Om.
Jnana-tai.
Jnana-tai. Correct. Mother.
Yes.
Is Jnana. Annapurne, Sadapurne. Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham. Correct.
Yes.
So that have a motherly attitude. And what about Rajni? Motherly. Okay.
Yeah,
Shaili?
he's always with me. He's always with me in difficulty, joy. At every step, I remember. Enadru bandru gratitude. ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಕೇಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಸಂಕಟ ಬಂದಾಗ ವೆಂಕಟರಮಣ, ಕಷ್ಟ ಕೊಟ್ರುನು ಅವನೇ, ಸುಖ ಕೊಟ್ರುನು ಅವನೇ. he is my companion. To tell you
Very
the truth.
beautiful. That companion
Step.
feeling is so beautiful. I love it. Lovely.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Murthy, you want to add some more? Okay. Shaila, what is your relationship with God?
Point I want to say, Navarasa.
Okay, carry on. Sir. He is my parent. He is always with me.
Father.
Like whatever happens, I am able to realize like in future something good is to be happen.
Very nice. Very nice. Yes, Murthy ji?
Actually, as per Shankara Bhagavad-pada, there are Ashtarasas only.
Oh,
No.
not Navarasas. Okay.
Navarasas.
Mhm.
Ninth rasa, which is Shantarasa,
Yes.
which is intrinsic.
It is intrinsic. It is not a rasa. It is my nature.
Yes, yes.
Very nice. Very nice.
So that was included subsequently later. I think this is what I wanted to discuss sometime back during our DDV.
Okay.
So when we stop, block all the doors like sense perception and also which is coming from chitta, that is called what is that? Rasa. How rasa is generated is based on vibhava, bhava, then rasa. Vibhava is the trigger point. I mean input, sense perception or which is coming from chitta. When all these things are blocked, Shanti is my inherent nature.
Okay. Nice. Thank you. So all of us have kind of expressed our relationship with God, but as a categorization, there are 5. One is Shanta, which Murthy ji just explained. Then there is Sakhya Bhava. Somebody said God is my friend. Sakhya. And there is Dasya Bhava, like Hanuman was with Rama. And then there is Vatsalya, like Yashoda with Krishna. Vatsalya. God is my child. That bhava is used to be very, very popular. See, this Saint Tulsidas, no, Surdas, he was are you listening? Are you hearing a lot of noise here?
Yes, Purnima ji, yes.
Okay. Yeah. This Surdas used to worship Krishna as baby Krishna. And once when Tulsidas and Surdas, Tulsidas was a bhakta of Lord Rama. Surdas was a bhakta of little Krishna. And once there was a huge storm or something. And I don't know if they were contemporaries, but this is a nice anecdote. This Tulsidas was sitting there only happily. But Surdas gathered his little Krishna idol and ran inside the house. So Tulsidas made fun of him, said, why are you running like that? You know, he's God. He's the one who's protecting you. What? You are protecting this one. So Surdas told Tulsidas, look, your Rama is a grown man. Yes, God is, Dhanush and all that. He can take care of himself and he will protect you also. But my Krishna is a small child, I have to take care of my Krishna. See, that's also a very powerful emotion. God as the child. Because that's the closest to our hearts. No, we'll do everything for our children, isn't it? The mother goes out of the way to do everything to her children, no matter how old they are. So that bhava, if we have towards God and towards others, we see Krishna, little Krishna in everyone. We try to help everyone. Okay, that's about, most of it is done. So Aṣṭamūrti, we are done. And yeah, and what is the Jagat īśadhi. The definition of Jagat. I read this somewhere, very interesting. Jagata. Ja is something jayate, which is born. Ga is gacchate. And ta is tishthate. That which is born. That which goes away. That is Jagat, that we know. The manifest universe is born and it goes away. But what is that which tishthate? What is that all the time? That is Jagat also. The screen on which this whole jayate, gacchate is happening, that is Brahman. So that's the definition of Jagat. Okay. Shaila is here happily and she will tell us about the next verse. Okay. Uttamastavāducca mandataḥ cittajaṁ japadyānamuttamam. Yes, Shaila. Heli. We can chant the verse also and share your understanding.
Mandataḥ cittajaṁ japadhyānamuttamam. Here in this verse, it's been explained different levels. Like when the mind is fully disturbed, it is better to chant louder, so that I read and hear too. Then the mind becomes calm. So after uttamastava, next step is chanting little bit, whispering, so that I can hear. And after that, japa, chanting in the mind softly.
Okay.
And finally, it is japa, like always it has been chanting mentally in the mind, so that it brings the individual from the outer world to the inside, so that he is always in the Shuddha Chaitanyam.
Nice, Shaila. Good. So who has been practicing japa here? So notice what Ramana Bhagavan is doing. First, he gave all the three forms, puja, japa, dhyana. Then in the first one, we have discussed elaborately about puja. The second, and the second was īśadhī puja, jagadīśadhī puja. And now about japa. More and more about, we are going from gross to subtle. Okay. So whoever has practiced japa, please share your experiences. What are the challenges? What are the advantages? Huh? How is it? Yeah. Yes, Anupama.
Purnima-ji, when I was a child, my mother first started this practice of chanting nama. As soon as we take bath, or we directly come to puja room, as soon as we take bath only, she'll start telling Narayana, Narayana. If it is morning, she'll say Narayana, Narayana. If it is evening also we take bath. Then Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. Then we all will lit the lamp and sit together. Then for a period of some time, we'll chant nama. Then we chant so many slokams or a song, everything we chant. So from childhood, it is automatically it is tuned. The brain is tuned in such a way.
Yes.
So what I today understand is, no, in any kind of situation, if I am getting very much agitated or in a very tensed or some kind of fear, my mind automatically keeps chanting. There is no effort needed for there. So automatically some kind of comfort that happens.
Yes. Yes. Very true, Anupama. I am sure most of us also can relate to that experience, that automatically the name you have been exposed to or you hear constantly, it comes. That is the beauty of satsang. In the house also, the mother also gives you all these inputs. Yes, Shaila, any more you want to add to that? Rajni?
Yeah, when I started chanting, my mind would be there would be a lot of clutter. Their thoughts would keep coming. Then I thought I will take just the Sharan of the feet of the Lord. And when I concentrated on that, my thoughts would reduce. So that was that. And when I look back, yes, my mother, she was a Vaishnava Bhakt and she would do Jai Mata Di all the time. And so, but one thing which I look back and see that this sanskara has not come too much to my children who are very modern in their thought process. So
Correct.
this is where I feel I could have done more as a parent. So this is one thing.
Now they must all be grown up, no?
Yes.
See, we will, as children, they would have been exposed. In our homes also we are done. But then they'll have their own egos, will become very strong. But I'm sure they'll come back to it when they get children. Yeah, it'll happen. I can already see that happening in my own house. Okay. See, when children were small, we did all the rituals that in what we do, that Brahmopadesha and everything was done. And as long as I was in control, I made sure he would do Sandhya Vandana morning and evening. But then when they grow up, they have a mind of their own, they will stop.
Yeah.
But now my son has got a child, 2 children, I'm sure. Slowly, namaskara madidya, he will ask every day. Did you do namaskara before going to school? School, he will ask. So, he will come back. Putting the seed is very important, like Prabhuji keeps stressing all the time. Seed has to be sown and then you leave it. Whenever it will sprout, it will sprout. Adene hedo surrender anta. Maadi mugisoದಷ್ಟೇ. You should do your duty. Yes, Padmaja.
Also, another point that is this chantings, what we are doing in japa, we
Hmm.
can also do while cooking anta. So those vibrations, when we are cooking food, like mainly, we
Absolutely.
have to chant these mantras because these go as a vibrations into the food. Anyways, the family will eat the food, that
Yes.
that will go as a prasada.
Yes.
And those vibrations within the food that we eat is as you said, it changes this one, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic quality. So that quality will change based on that thing. So those things we can do from our side.
Yes.
Adu ಮಾಡಬಹುದು ನಾವು.
Madbeku. Correct.
Yeah, that also happens automatically, Purnimaji, because depending upon the mood, the chant may differ, but every work will have some kind of chanting happening in the background.
Yes. Very beautiful. Yes. That is the whole point, Anupama. That's the whole point.
When we are cooking there, we shouldn't have any kind of negative feelings or fighting, so shouting. So adu we shouldn't do it. It's specifically the one who is cooking. That is why we say eating outside, we should be very, very careful because we don't know how it is cooked, with what kind of things, what was going on and all that. If at all we have to eat outside, then before eating food, just pray and eat.
And after eating what we had just discussed, Mahamantra, Om Tat Sat. Yeah. Very nice. Okay. Who else wants to share about their experience with japa, nama japa? Yes, Indra.
My father, I want to tell Purnimaji.
Yes.
He used to chant Rama, 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 and it is so subconsciously went inside. Even if he's doing something, watching TV or something, he used to always, that lip will be moving. Rama, 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 it will keep on going. And when he passed away, it was just, he had his breakfast, told Rama, and that's all.
Wow.
Nothing. He just had 2 idlis, sat, and he just told Rama and closed his eyes.
Wow. So beautiful. So beautiful. Blessed soul.
Yeah.
Straight to Vaikunta. Very nice. Very nice.
One of our cousins, Sadashiva, he went on into some 15 12 years back, he died. He was in a coma and other things. And these people were poor and could not afford the hospital fees. So they said, at any cost, we are unable to pay. You can keep him in the hospital or you give it to him. We have only so much money from MS Ramaya Hospital. They brought him home in coma because they had given up all hopes in the hospital. Bandre Sadashiva had kept he used to always do japa, 1,000 gayatris every day.
I remember that.
Alive. Always near the window, he would be sitting with a rope to catch the rope to steady himself, and we'd be doing gayatri all the time in his small panche. Aden heltare chik madi pancheli. And then when he was in coma and he was brought home, he lived for 3 days without any of those support. And you know, friends, his hand, I don't know whether my video works. His hand was in Chinmay Mudra all the 3 days. He was in coma, but his hand was in Chinmay Mudra. That is the coma also he could japa.
So this habit is a very good thing. It will come to our rescue. It will have gone deep into the subconscious. So make it a habit, even if it seems mechanical in the beginning. See, that is a challenge with most of us, no? When we start doing anything in the beginning, it's always mechanical, and we should not become disheartened and give it up. We should just continue with it. Even if it is mechanical, it will clean the dishes. No, that is what is required. Chitta Shuddhi will keep happening. That's what Prabhuji also says. Just do it. So nowadays, my favorite mantra is how Prabhuji, he has a habit. When he is giving prasada, he chants. What does he chant? Tell me.
Narayana.
Narayana, 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 Hari Narayana, Swami Narayana, Satya Narayana, Narayana. So beautiful and it's so soothing. Don't you feel? I feel it's very soothing, that japa. So that comes automatically to me when I am giving food to the young ones in my house, the little kids. I feel like chanting that japa. So these are the beautiful things that happen with japa. And so here 4 stages have been given. Stava. First is uttamastavāducca. Stava means what's the meaning of stava? Stava means stuti, glorification. So the glorification of the Lord loudly, bhajans, singing with all the symbols, tala, vagaira, very powerful. That's a very, very powerful way of remembering God. Uttamastava. Uttama here means God. This one, Ishvara. Uttama is God here. Uttama means superior also, but in this shloka it indicates to Ishvara. So singing the glories of the God loudly is stage number 1. Again for the same reason, because all the sense organs are involved. Then Uccha Japa, everything is there. And then after Uttamastava, glorification, there is Uccha Japa. So loudly chanting Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, loud chanting. And then Manda. Upamshu, it is called Manda Japa's Upamshu. Just the lips are moving like how Indra said, fathers used to move his lips. And then cittajaṁ is subtlest, only the mind is involved. This cittajaṁ japa is the entry point for deep meditation. Okay, so if anyone has got the mantra given by the Guru, very fortunate, do it. Otherwise, just pick up a mantra and start chanting, and definitely the Guru will come and bless. Okay. What else? Done? What are the aids to japa? Japamala. Why is the japamala important?
It's got 108 beads. It gives you a concentration, and the 108 beads also, they have a meaning.
Okay.
Yeah. And it gives you a focus. It helps to focus.
That's the thing. It gives you a focus. It gives, yes, Jayashree.
That bead itself is from a very powerful tree. Yav tree anta martogta ide nange. Rudrakshi, which has lot of power in that. So hopefully the power, sattvic power, comes to us by catching hold of that Rudrakshi in the hand.
But there, remember that there's aids, we cannot depend on power of the Rudraksha to make my japa powerful. It is my mind which has to be very powerful there, because that's the one which wanders off. So the bead is there to just help us bring back the attention. And it is said that how to chant is also very important. Not just go on mechanically. Mechanically is good, but then roll a bead, tell the nama, roll a bead, and check whether your mind is wandering. If it is wandering, don't roll. Say again in the same bead. You know, that's how one has to come back to the japa all the time. Stop rotating.
Oh, even our Guruji says when you are doing Om Namah Shivaya japa, you say one Om Namah Shivaya once and go into
Stay with it.
silence.
Stay
And
with
the
it.
next thought comes when the thought comes for disruption, then say
Correct.
Om Namah Shivaya
Correct.
and go into silence.
Correct. Perfect. That is what it is. Just not that finishing that 108 one round is not the goal. Staying with the nama and the rupa perhaps and going deeper is the goal of any japa. I think it's time is up 11:45. Just one more thought. These 4 stages are comparable to the 4 levels of speech. Vaikari, Madhyama, Pashyanti, Para. Have you heard of these terms? Para, Pashyanti, Madhyama, Vaikari?
No, Purnima ji.
No. Then we'll explain in the next class. It's already time, no? We can do that. Chalo, theek hai. Done. There are some... Alexa also got your message, started speaking. All right. Chalo.
Next week homework?
Next week homework. Rajni, madam,
Yeah.
will you attend next week or will you forget?
No, I'm there. I'll be there.
Yeah. Will you take up shloka number 7?
Yeah.
Okay. Jaishri, can you take up shloka number 8?
I'm half and half, Purnima. I may not be at home. Half and half. I have to go to that Prabhas function which is near my house. That's on Monday.
Then leave it.
So, ನಾನು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತೀನಿ 11:30 ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಗೊಂದು ಶ್ಲೋಕ ಕೊಡಿ ನಾನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀನಿ
Hangide, you take 6, Rajni can take 7. Not so 6.
Okay.
Jaishri can take 7. Rajni can take 8. And 9th one, who will take now? Anupama, you are finished, no? Can you take again?
Okay, Purnima.
You're going to give me 7?
Yeah. 7 Jaishri, 8 Rajni, 9 Anupama.
Where do I find the shlokas, Purnima? It will be in the...
I've pinned a message on the group. You just go there and look it.
Okay then. Thank you.
All right. Anupama, is that okay with you?
Oh, okay.
It will be the last Monday I'll be attending Purnima. 4 weeks ellaru bandirtiri. Last
Then
Monday.
better finish one assignment and go.
I will do it. I will do it.
7,
do it.
8,
Thank
9.
you.
Jaishri, Rajni, Anupama. 7, 8, 9. Done.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So let us do the closing prayer. Om Asato ma sadgamaya Tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Mrutyormam amritangamaya Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Nanimbudu nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi nanalla Satchidanandatma Shivananu nane Shivoham 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 Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Lokaha Samastaha Sukhino Bhavantu Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om